The Calgary Flames have reportedly added Tyson Barrie to the organization by signing him to a PTO. The sneaky signing is all but confirmed and could help generate some offense for the Calgary Flames, especially on the power play. But will it help the team get wins? We're going to break down and analyze it all. But first, I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I am Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. And let's hop straight in and talk about how we have a report that the Flames are signing Barrie to a PTO. And it's very interesting because if it is true, and it certainly looks like it is true, I don't know why it wouldn't be, it would be another one of those rumors that we've genuinely talked about for months that eventually ended up coming true. And it's interesting because there have been some weird PTOs being signed lately, but as you can see here, obviously, Calgary Flames to sign Tyson Barrie to professional tryout agreement. Is that what PTO stands for? Wouldn't that be PTA? I don't know. I know it's a PTO, professional trial, but either way, this one is from Shane Sini. This article that we'll take a look at a little bit, but to bring even more credibility to the matter, this was the original tweet from Frank Saravalli. He said, hearing Flames are bringing veteran defenseman Tyson Barrie to training camp on a PTO. 1 season removed from a 13-goal, 55-point campaign, he isn't the only surprising name to linger this long. Needs to earn a deal, but could be a great leadership addition for Calgary. And I like how Saravalli puts it there. It would be really good for leadership. We have a younger D-core for the most part, and would be decent to bring him in for that stance. I know Tyson Barrie is, some would call him washed. I think he still has a lot to his game. Obviously, look at the offensive statistics last season, but there have been some interesting PTOs, so this is one of the better ones. I mean, the Ottawa Senators, GM Steven Steo signed Nikolai Kulemin. When's the last time you heard that name to a PTO? That one boggles my mind. That is like if we were to sign, Rene Bourque to a PTO this season, or bringing back in Curtis Glencross or something. And I loved those players back in the day, but bringing them on to a PTO in 2024, not sure what's going on there. Tyson Barrie makes a little bit more sense, but let's dive into the article a bit. Barrie, 33, will look to impress throughout training camp and earn a contract for the 2024-25 season with the retooling Flames. The offensive defenseman appeared in 41 games with the Predators last season, in which he scored once and ended his season with 15 points. It was a notably down year for the right-handed blue liner after he recorded 13 goals and 55 points in 2022-23, split between the Oilers and Predators. And one thing I do want to mention that's very interesting to me about Barrie's career so far is that, look, he's been a great player, a very NHL caliber player for sure, but it almost seems like anywhere he goes, the team gets better after he leaves. You look at the Colorado Avalanche, they got way better after he left. They won a Stanley Cup. Toronto, they got better too. They won a playoff series and their defensive game got way, way better. And even the Oilers, look, 1 season technically away from the Oilers, and the Oilers made it all the way to the Stanley Cup final. Nashville even, we'll have to wait and see, but I find it interesting that Barrie, his better days are definitely behind them, but in a leadership role, it could make sense for the Calgary Flames. And we know he's an offensive defenseman with a lot to be left in the defensive zone for sure. It's a little bit unfortunate that his defensive game just never really settled in at the NHL level, and it'll be interesting to see if he does end up being on the team. Barrie wasn't dealt prior to the 2023-24 trade deadline. A lot of people thought he would be, but maybe there was no market. Following the frustrating regular season, Barrie would dress in just 1 Stanley Cup playoff game with the Predators during their first round series, which, oh my goodness, they should have beat the Canucks, but they had to give up a Brock Besser hat trick. Barrie now joins the Flames, who could lean on his experience and offensive capabilities. Calgary has a few jobs up for grabs on their blue line, as Flames GM Craig Conroy has been busy turning over his roster. Conroy has close to $20 million in cap space to work with heading into this season. Is Tyson Barrie going to get $20 million this upcoming season? No, we'd probably, if he does end up making the team, sign him, to the vet minimum pretty much. But either way, let's get into if he will make the team. And it's very, very interesting because, first of all, you got to think, well, who would be coming out and wouldn't be getting a roster spot? The way it is right now is, you obviously have Weegar and Andersson set. Kevin Ball should be a staple of that blue line. So who does it leave to bring out? Is it going to be Jake Bean? Is it going to be maybe Braden Pahal? Maybe one of the younger guys? What's going on there? It's interesting to see who he would be coming in place of. And if he were to be in our D-core, absolutely, he could already take over the first power play unit, which would bring a lot to our offensive game. But the defensive game, you know, it's funny. We're going to get into it a little bit more later in this video. But let's get into this article here from Derek Olson. So Tyson Barrie has good chance to make Flames roster after signing PTO. The NHL regular season begins on October 4th when the New Jersey Devils and Buffalo Sabres play in Czechia as part of the NHL Global Series. Fans of the Calgary Flames will have to wait until October 9th for the start of their new campaign. They play an away game against the Canucks. The franchise is in the middle of a rebuild with a roster mixed with young and established pros after a momentous 2024 NHL entry draft. Boy, we don't forget that one. They made only a few minor moves this offseason, and I can't find anywhere that says the Flames have officially signed Barrie to a PTO. It seems like everyone thinks they have, and again, I don't know why anyone would lie about that and make it up, so let's just assume he fully has signed. Let's continue with the big question. Could Barrie make the team? In short, yes, of course. It will depend on how the other blue liners play in training camp and the preseason and the direction management wants to take the team. But Barrie offers two things the Flames need: power play production and experience. Even though they had one of the league's best penalty kills, their power play ranked 26th last year, which isn't good enough. Only Kadri scored more than 20 points with the extra man, a figure that Barrie has exceeded 6 times and as recently as just a couple seasons ago. So there you go. He brings a lot of offense, and you know, the Flames, they might struggle to score a little bit this year, at least compared to, you know, the Johnny Gaudreau era of hockey, especially with Tkachuk, Lindholm, Monahan, guys like that. But the Flames probably will score quite a bit. It'll just be more a matter of keeping pucks out of the net. And Barrie isn't exactly the best at doing that. So again, very, very interesting. If he were on the team, I'd assume he would play with a ball as his defensive partner. But again, we will just have to wait and see. Among defensemen, MacKenzie Weegar did most of his damage at even strength, and Rasmus Andersson had just 8 assists, despite averaging the most power play ice time. So 8 assists on the man advantage last year. While Barrie likely couldn't take the power play from 26th to 1st single-handedly, he has been part of many successful units and would make a difference. Over his 13-year career, his average team power play percentage is 23.2, and his team success rate has been 10th or better league-wide 10 times, which is pretty nuts. He has been on some decently good teams, as we've seen, but either way, it'd be very interesting to see what he could do in the Flames D-core. All in all, a PTO is a low-risk option that is a win-win for NHL teams. They either get a player who plays well enough to earn an affordable NHL contract, or one who provides new veteran competition in camp for little to no money. PTOs do not get converted into contracts nearly as often as they used to, but Barrie has a decent chance of doing so. He has plenty of proverbial gas left in the tank and has intangible that the Flames should covet. And he does. He brings that leadership, he brings that experience and that offensive upside from the defensive end. I know Weegar was potting pucks left, right, and center. We know what Andersson has to his game, but Barrie would be a whole other level in terms of quarterbacking a power play, I guess we can say. NFL season starting today. But either way, very, very interesting here. I'm okay if he doesn't make the team, to be honest. Give some of the other guys a chance. I'm okay if he does make the team. You know, if we're getting more goals, it's more exciting hockey. That's great. It means hopefully we could fill seats a little bit better this year, and at least lose games, you know, 6-5 instead of 6-0, essentially. Not that I'm saying Barrie is that good. Do not get me wrong. I don't think he's McDavid or Matthews. I'm just saying it would make the power play probably a little bit better, and having both him and Huberdeau able to dish the puck to guys like, you know, Sharangovich, Kadri, Kuzmenko, guys who can really score. It could be very, very interesting, which actually brings us into the comment of the day, which is from yesterday's video, but it actually ends up working perfectly for this one. So yesterday's video was, of course, about the scoring projections, the goal scoring projections for the team next year, which aren't looking great, but this comment is perfect for that video and perfect for this video, and it comes from Rock Realm, and they said, Sharangovich, Zary, Kadri, Kuzmenko. I personally think scoring will be the least of our problems. Our D-core is the reason we will finish bottom 5 in the league. Team tank. And yes, we kind of do need to tank in order for the plans for the future to work out. And it would be very nice to have, you know, a top 5 pick, maybe first overall pick. But it is true. Barrie, you know, he would, again, he'd help us offensively, maybe not defensively. So for this, maybe it is the perfect signing and it was a match made in heaven. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe, like what you saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.